If you're really looking to win and you want to do all the things, you need to disappear for the next 6 months. I'm being serious. Like it's already a month into the new year, and if you're not remotely closer to your goals that you have set for yourself and like what you want to become, then I'm telling you from my own experience that you need to go disappear and lock yourself in a room and don't come out of that room until you figure something out. This sounds a little bit dramatic, but this is exactly what I did. You see, I think it was 6 years ago now, 7 years ago, I came to this point where I had started making some money online. I had some progress. I was able to get to a point where I was able to kind of comfortably pay rent every month. I wasn't stressed about rent and trying to figure out where's the money going to come from. But I did get to this point where I was very dissatisfied. Then also, I had this Volkswagen Jetta at the time, and it broke down on me. It said it had this oil light come on. I was like, okay, oil's getting kind of low. I need to schedule an appointment. I literally scheduled the appointment to go to the mechanic to get the oil changed, and I had to go to the bank to go pick up some checks or something like that. And when I got done with the bank, I left, and I was gonna go back home, and I had the oil change the next day, but my car wouldn't start. The engine went out on it. I took it to the shop, and then the mechanic called me and said, "Hey, your engine went out." I looked at the prices, and it's going to be like $8,000 to fix the car, which the car is basically totaled. Then the car was worth less than what the fix was going to cost to get the new engine inside of there. And so there I was. I had no car. I had some money saved up. I was kind of paying rent comfortably. I think I had to borrow my girlfriend's car, to be honest, to drive around anywhere. But I had no car. Like that was like my saving grace. That was my freedom in life. And I didn't have that anymore. And what preceded then was I realized I needed to make a change. I needed to do something different. And instead of trying to figure out how to maximize that situation that I was in, I realized I needed to be in a different reality. I needed to live a different life. I needed to finally go achieve the results that I've been pursuing. I was making like $3,000 a month at the time, but I needed to be past $20,000 a month. I needed change. I was stuck. I hated this apartment that I lived in. I was tired of it. I was sick of it. I was sick of living in this town. I needed to go do something different. I wanted to get out of the country. I wanted to go travel to other places and go explore. And it was time for me to make this change in my life. And what preceded was one of the most beautiful things I would say in my life, and one of the most fun times that I went through. And I even reflect to it to this day that I'm just like, that was such an incredible time. I did not leave my apartment. I had a grocery store across the street. Actually, I would walk there like once a week. I would buy all like my food and stuff like that and my snacks, but I would not leave my apartment. I would actually have like my girlfriend at the time go to the grocery store for me and make me food and stuff. And I would not leave. I had a 2-bedroom apartment at the time. It was this little like 1,000 square foot 2-bedroom apartment. That office that I had, that was my other bedroom. I wouldn't leave that thing for days. Like I remember I would pull literally like 36-hour days. Like I wouldn't sleep. I would wake up at like noon or something, because I would stay up till like 6 a.m. a lot. I'd wake up at noon. I would work all through the night till like 4 or 5, 6 a.m. Some days I was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to stay up through the entire day. And then I'll try to get back to normal sleep the next day or whatever. Or I would get to like 4, 6 a.m. Then I would go to bed, and then I'd wake up at like 10 a.m., noon, and I would just get back to work. That was it. And I just would be on that cycle. That was when I was the most productive. I was such a procrastinator that when it was late at night, I felt like I needed to work more. So that was what I did. And I just disappeared. I didn't talk to my family. I think my family called. They were concerned. I said, everything's okay. I'm busy right now. I just don't know how to talk about this right now, but I'm busy. And so I'm trying to build out my dreams. And they were able to get behind that and understood. But my girlfriend was worried about me at the time. I really didn't eat much, to be honest. And all I did all day was just obsess over working. And this was the time when I started, when I discovered Faceless YouTube channels. I had a YouTube channel at the time, and I started, making these faces YouTube channels. And I locked myself the fuck in for, it was, I think 2 weeks straight. I did not leave the apartment. I had no car. It wasn't working. It wasn't even at my house. It was at a mechanic shop. And you know what's funny is to this day, I don't even know what happened to the car. I never called them back. I just that car was dead to me. They probably just salvaged, turn it into a parts car or something. I have no idea. I actually, to this day, have no idea what happened to that car. And I just locked the fuck in. And at the end of those 14 days, I hit 1 million views in a day on my YouTube channel. And the amount of fulfillment that I felt at that point in my life was like none other. I was there's even times I was so tired. I was laying on the couch just with my laptop on my stomach and just freaking making these videos. I was so tired, but my heart and my soul was so driven to make this happen. And it didn't even take the full 6 months. I locked in for the next I think 90 days, 120 days. That year I was just locked the fuck in. And just literally after the first 2 weeks of locking in and just going all in on this shit, I hit over 1 million views in a day, which was $3,000 a day. And then I made $7,000-8,000 in a week, and then I had some monetization issues at the time with YouTube. And then 45 days I was making nothing. So I got a glimpse of it. I got a taste. I got a sliver of what things could become. The month before that, I have this old spreadsheet. It was $4,000 I think I made the month before, and then that month I made $9,000. And I was just dude, I need more of that. And so I grinded for the next 30, 45 days. I finally figured out how to get monetization again. I was able to get monetized for the last week of the month, and I made $18,000 in the last week of that month with only a week of monetization. The next month I made $42,000 in a single month. It was because I disappeared. I locked in. I didn't talk to anybody. I didn't leave my house. I didn't leave my room. I wouldn't leave the apartment. I would go from the bedroom to there. Everybody was worried about me. I told them it's okay. I'll be fine. Thank you for concern, but I need to lock in. And yeah, my life changed. I went and traveled to Hollywood. It was kind of the pinnacle of it was just whoa, this is insane. I literally made this is how it actually played out. I made $42,000 in a month. I flew out. I met this guy that I really looked up to in business at the time. He kind of was in his cool person mode lifestyle. So he was had this house, this $10 million house right next to the FaZe house at the time. I remember we'd hang out. There was a full on gym. It was this 4 or 5 story house, and literally go hit the gym there. I was there's all these fans outside from the FaZe clan. I would ended up meeting a ton of them. The Rice Gum kid, and I was smoking weed with FaZe Apex, Alex. We were it was the coolest shit that I could have ever imagined at, I think I was 19 or 20 years old at the time. It was the pinnacle of life. I literally went from just being this car broke down, I had no money, I could barely afford rent, to all of a sudden in the span of 3-4 months, after disappearing, it just I was just literally living this lifestyle. I bought my dream car, which at the time was this Lexus IS 350. Then I met all of these people I had looked up to over the years, of these people that were making money online, and there were these 18 to 22 year olds that were making whatever, 30 grand, 100 grand a month. And I met all of these people, and I was just whoa, this is crazy. I always knew I was going to be friends with these people. I don't know. I just knew it inside of me, but I was just I was actually spending time with them, hanging out with them. I was driving them around. We would get we would just hang out together. We would do all these things together. And I remember I met this one guy, who I used to I saw him in some of these guys' YouTube videos I used to watch. And we, I was just dude, what the heck? This is wild. I feel I'm living a dream or something. And then him and his girlfriend were hey, we're going to go to Bali. Do you want to go? I met him. I knew him for a few days. I was yeah, let's do it. And we ended up going all the way to Indonesia, Bali, and spending a whole month out there together. In 2 weeks later, it was wild. We booked the tickets out a week or two. I went home, got all my stuff packed up and everything, and then I met him in California, and we flew from California to Indonesia. And I was living in Idaho. I was living in the middle of nowhere. I just dropped out of college. I was living on my own. My family doesn't even live in Idaho. Like, I had no connections in Idaho. I just had a girlfriend at the time there. That was it. I knew nobody. I was there by myself. And I realized I needed to lock the fuck in, and I needed to just do one more sprint. It was like one more sprint, and I was like, I could see and feel the finish line. Again, I was making $3-4 grand a month. I had acquired some skills over the year, and I was like, I'm gonna lock in. And when I did, and I disappeared, like, I just fell off the face of the earth. Like, I didn't reply to anybody. My phone, you would call me, and it would just, I never like had it near me unless I was like working, and it was always on do not disturb the entire time, do not disturb mode. And I just locked in. I was working 12, 16-hour days every single day. Because I was like, my car broke down. I'm a loser. I can't even afford to fix my car. I have no car. I probably could have fixed it, but I was just like, this is, let me use this as fuel. And then, yeah, I bought this nice car. I was making a ton of money, and I just went and fucked off, honestly. Once I made a ton of money, I just had so much fun. And I realized it's like the extremities of entrepreneurs that, like, now that I've met so many people that have made so much money, met billionaires. I've had the pleasure of meeting billionaires. I've met lots and lots of celebrities. I've met a lot of people that are 8-figure entrepreneurs, and then, a good handful of like 9-figure, 10-figure entrepreneurs. And I just find that they're all such extreme people. They're so extreme. Like, when they're working, their head, like, nose to the grindstone, head down, just working their life away to make this thing happen. And then when they're done after the season, whether it's 3 months or 6 months, then they go have so much fun. They just go like, they go in and enjoy things. Like, they're partying, they're going to the clubs. Like, I have a friend right now, he's in Colombia, and he's just been like living his freaking life out there. He's sending me all these videos of going to like EDM concerts and all sorts of business meeting, like people that he's meeting out there and hanging out with. And he's just like having, the time of his life out there. And then when he's not there, he's just working his ass off, to be honest. Like, he's half the year he's working his ass off, and the other half of the year he's just effing off and just having a shit ton of fun. And the reason why you do that too, by the way, is because if you just grind all the time, you eventually kind of get a little like burnt out and stuff, and you kind of need like a new reset or a new focus. So the trick is like, you just lock in for 90 days, and maybe a little break in between, and then another 90 days. And then you should just go like F off for at least like 2 weeks, a month. Like, now that you're starting to make some money, now that you've like locked in, you need a new perspective. Because if you kind of just keep doing and you don't like inject new thoughts and ideas into your brain, you don't really have this like ability to go do more and to see bigger and to see greater things. I would say a lot of the growth I had was in those moments when I was grinding my face off, but then also when I went and like enjoyed life, I saw how much like wealth was out there with this new perspective of how much money I was making. Because I was like, once I started making like 40 grand a month, I went out and I went to these places. When I went to Los Angeles, like, I remember I went to this party with Bella Thorne's house. Yeah. And I was just like kind of seeing like a lot of these lifestyles that like a lot of other people live. And I'm like, these people aren't that much different than me. And they just, because they have more money, they just like live so much more. Like, they just get so much more out of life and milking out of life. And I was like, wow, this is like, I thought like 40 grand a month was a lot. Like, this is this person's like rent, and I definitely could not afford to pay, like that much rent with the money that I'm making, let alone everything else that comes with it, So it forced me to get out of my comfort zone as soon as I started making more money. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So that's why right now, whatever season that you're in your life, like, you need to lock the fuck in. You need to disappear for 6 months. You need everybody to be like, where did that person go? Did they die? Like, you should have people like genuinely concerned about you. Like, and that shows you who the real people are too, by the way. If you just disappear and you never hear from them, okay, they probably weren't really meant for you in your life. But the people that really do care, they'll like reach out and they'll check in on you, and they'll also understand too. They're not selfish people. They're not trying to force you to hang out with. Like, they're just like, okay, I get it. I support you, and I'm excited for you, and I'm rooting for you. And the real people, they stick around. And I'm blessed that my family is one of those people that was able to like be there through all of it. My friends that I have today, those are some of the people I met during those times and during those years. that they've stuck around, you know, even when I can disappear, fall off the face of the earth for like 2-3 years, and then they'll understand, they'll get it. I'll hit them up when I'm done, going through my Batman arc or whatever, and we'll hang out again. Like, it's like nothing happened. And those are your real friends. I found the people that aren't real friends are the ones that you go and disappear for a week, and you know, it's like they're just like, oh, like what a loser or whatever. That's really the difference. And it's almost kind of a litmus test in your life to disappear for 6 months. You're gonna find out like who was meant to be in your life and who wasn't. If I was like somebody that was like working a job and I hated it and I knew that there was more in life, what I would do is I would quit that job. I would save up a good amount of money. I'd quit that job and I would disappear and lock myself in a room for 6 months until like I questioned the meaning of money. I figured my way out and I made it happen. I'd get some fitness on and stuff, maybe doing some push-ups and stuff. But other than that, I would just lock in. It would just be mental warfare, trying to figure out how can I get to making the most amount of money possible and going on to this next season. I've done that so many times in my life, and that's why you see me living this lifestyle that I live now. And it's just from like locking the fuck in and just going all in on doing that. And so my biggest advice for you, if you really want to make a change, like if you genuinely do, this isn't for the people that are like, yeah, that would be nice to be rich. This is for people that like genuinely want it. They're like, that's for me. I want that. Then what it's time for is to disappear, lock away, go dark mode for 6 months and just and work your ass off. I'm rooting for you. Drop it down in the comments down below if you're one of those people that's going for it. And I want you to check back in 2 months, 3 months, 6 months from now, see how far you've come. And maybe you'll see that some people, they didn't actually go dark mode. They said that they were and they actually didn't. The real ones, they're going to drop a comment here and then they're going to come back in 6 months and they're going to be like, dang, that was the best decision of my life. Anybody else that's like gone through that period before, drop it down in the comments. And maybe it's time to go again. Maybe it's time to go to greater heights. It's time to lock in, have people wonder where you went. Who are you anymore? Like you want people to be like, you've changed. And you want them to be concerned how much you've changed. Like that's a good thing. That's a sign of growth. It's a sign of change. It's a sign that something has happened. What you don't want to have happen is they're like, you're the same person that I've always known and you've never changed. Like that sounds miserable to me. Like I want to be a new person every year. I want to be a new person. Like I don't want people to see me again and they're like, this is the same person. Like I don't want that because that means I have not grown enough and that is unacceptable for the person that I know I'm capable of becoming. And I want that for you too, if you want that for yourself. So thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one.